So likewise, it's important that we lubricate all our joints by ensuring to do a proper exercise, flexibility exercise, building your muscles so that you're prepared for the next 23 hours. You can choose any form of exercise. There's nothing called you have to do this or that. The most important aspect is what is sustainable and comfortable for you so that you can do it for your lifetime. Most of them try and join the gym, pay a 1 year subscription, and make the gym owner very rich because they will go only for a month, right? We have seen that happening to many of our own peers, friends, and all of that, right? So choose something which is sustainable for you. Go ahead, Milind.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this was not impossible, so I'm convinced more or less. But your second question is just impossible for me. Because you say on the second part, the second commandment, in fact, it's almost impossible. You say, avoid stimulant early in the morning, like coffee, tea, which can slowly dull your nervous system. Now, how many of you are addicted to your morning cup of tea with your newspaper or a cup of hot coffee? Only after that, your brain starts working and then you can think of doing something during the day. So those who are fascinated, or I won't say the addiction, but they have likeness, I enjoy the cup of tea in the morning, the bed tea or the bed coffee. I also have that problem, I don't have tea, coffee, but something kara I have, but I like to read the newspaper the first in the morning. But here is the person who's saying you should avoid tea and coffee. And then somewhere down the line in the same chapter, he goes and talks about drinking fresh vegetable juice, have beetroot juice. So that is something very disturbing for me. So Joshua, you have to convince me and others. How is that important?
I'm on. You guys can hear me, no, Milind? Can you hear me?
I can hear. Yeah.
So as you said, Milind, the regular drinking of tea or coffee will dull your nervous system. So what's going to happen is another 2 hours. As soon as you have your coffee or tea, another 2 hours, you are very fresh. You know, your agility is good, your concentration is good. Slowly it comes down. It gets into the spike and slowly it comes down. Then again, around 11 o'clock, you're looking for something, right? So you want another stimulant. So this will go on and on. That is one reason if you stop in the morning and try any alternate. So it's easy to stop this habit. And once you get into this rhythm of this habit, you will experience life in a different way. For example, I never sit at home or in office. I stand and work. In my room, there are no chairs or sofa. Currently, also, I am standing. So, after my wake up time, I only stand, and that energy is primarily due to two aspects. One is my early morning juice. The second one is my exercise, which lubricates my entire joints and keeps me fit. And also, your agility and your concentration is at a very high level. If you stand or walk a little bit, your brain functions very, very well. It doesn't go to sleep at all. So till my sleep time, only for food, I sit and have on the dinner table, dining table. Otherwise, this I am doing it for the last 6 years, and it works well. So I'm not asking everybody to do this because it may not be possible all of a sudden, but try and experience certain benefits and follow these aspects. Yes, Madam.
Thank you, Joshua. So may I request anyone who is aware, following this regime of Joshua, having fresh juice of vegetables or fruits in the morning, and maybe standing to any one of you. I seem to be now getting convinced. I hope you, all of you, are also getting convinced the importance. Maybe standing may be too much for me because normally I don't mind walking or running or marathon. That's what I do. I'd already done 7 marathons, 42 kilometers. But standing continuously even for hour is very painful for me. But good, so good point. Thank you, Joshua, for that. Now let me just come to the third commandment. Of course, the commandment which you talked about is already covered, that fresh juice helps you. I like the phrase which you used, that avoid stimulant early in the morning, like coffee or tea, which can slowly dull your nervous system. And you explain, because after a couple of hours, then again you will need the second dose, and that becomes a part of your system. And I like that one phrase which you used. When you do this, that is not avoiding tea and coffee, you're lowering the possibility of experiencing life, and that's what seems Joshua is doing. Now you have come to a few more things about here, that we need to be conscious of what we eat, and that body always communicates with us, and we have to listen to our body to understand what suits us and what doesn't. So why is that important? Why do we have to? Because normally, whenever I eat, my habit is either open the TV or read some books or newspaper. In fact, the common complaint at home, whether it was my mother or now my wife or my mother-in-law, I forget what I have eaten in the morning. So that's what my problems are. So Joshua, can you just highlight those important aspects, that why should we be conscious of what we are eating?
It's not about good food or bad food. It's about are you consciously deciding to eat what you are eating? That is one aspect. And you can always experiment what you eat. And if the food what you eat makes you energized and comfortable, you can continue with that. Or else you can discontinue and try other types of food. So now coming back to the consciousness, this our grandparents would have told us to do it, right? Whenever we sit and start eating, concentrate and eat. That means a lot of doctors are there in this forum. They can also explain why it is so important that that particular food is going to become a life. It's going to give you the life, right? It's going to become an energy within your system. It's going to become part of your system. So if I'm not consciously, eating that food and giving respect to that food, that means I'm not going to benefit 100% of what I'm eating. So if you want to have 100% benefit of what is on the table for you to eat, so give respect and be conscious of what you eat. And we can practice this during the lockdown again, because we used to give excuses, right? I'm running for meetings, running for this, running for that. I didn't have time. I just swallow and move away. At least now, it's by God's grace, we can share the table with our family for all 3 meals. and have a chat and sit peacefully, consciously eat our food. So this is again an opportunity for us. So converting the challenge into an opportunity.
Thank you, Joshua. So now, since we have, like you said, that we have doctors today, so I'm going to request Dr. Sunil, because one thing I've seen during COVID or lockdown, doctors are like, they're working 24/7, 365 days, or even more than now. They have not got any they didn't get themselves locked down. They're extremely busy. So what do you feel about these three commandments which Joshua has highlighted? Using the first hour in the morning for exercises, then having fresh fruit juice, and again, being conscious of the food. So Dr. Sunil Gowda, if you can unmute yourself and share your views, even if you can come on audio, if possible.
It's,
And
I think,
video too.
whatever is told applies good for everybody, not only for doctors. Whoever wants to be active and healthy, I think it applies for everybody, not only for doctors. So, I mean, whatever points he's told is definitely good, and it's valid for everybody.
And Dr. Sunil, I had also seen you, met you once a couple of times. You are quite fit, tall and slim and handsome. You look like almost like a movie star. So how is that possible with your busy schedule? Can you even share your deal?
Ultimately, we'll have to make up our time. Get some time, make up our time. Everybody are busy. Not that everybody's got free time. So you have to keep some time for yourself. That's what it is.
Great.
So we all used to play badminton, Milind.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. In fact, that's how
Ashish, Dr. Sunil.
Yeah, we're all a team here, so we play badminton. Now that there's lockdown, we're not doing it, but otherwise we do it every day.
I missed out in the introduction. Joshua stays in Wisdomburg area, in our same ward, and Dr. Sunil is also from Wisdomburg. So that's how I have been in Bangalore and this area for more than 2019. Only after when I got in touch with Wisdomburg friends like Joshua and Sunil, I walked during the lockdown just 2 months back to Wisdomburg. I never entered that place. So I had to walk across to KG and other things. So that was there. And I also see over here, Mr. Jaykumar sir is there, who was the president of PDA Layout. And today also he was just, it took some time to join. So when I called him, he said, sorry, I was in a meditation. So he's also very fitness freak, and he does a lot of social service for the entire BDA Layout work, in addition to his professional work. So Jaykumar sir, what is your secret sauce? Do you follow some of the practices which Joshua said, using first hour in the morning? Over to Jaykumar sir. Can you unmute yourself, Jaykumar sir? I think we have lost. So once he gets, we also have Rumi Daluwala, highly intelligent person, always energetic, keeps on sending positive messages everywhere, walks the talk. So Rumi, can you unmute yourself and share your views, if possible? Anyone who would like to share their views?
Rumi,
go ahead, yeah.
If I start, I can take the entire 1 hour. So
No. Yeah. So I'll have a recorded time. It's like a table topic. Only 2 minutes for you. Now 6:47, 6:49. I'll unmute you. Okay.
Views on what would be? I could probably go on what particular thing would you like to do?
Yeah. So like he has said, he has right now given us 3 commandments. One is
okay.
First 3, yeah.
So I think the first commandment is very, very difficult for me personally. My day cannot start without tea. So it's a terrific challenge. Maybe it's like, the last thing that I would possibly do is, give up tea, at least the first cup of the day. That's as they say, that cheers, right? So that's something which is something very difficult to abdicate. But hearing what he said, it kind of, and okay, the substitute he provided also is a good one, the vegetable juice or the possibly that has benefits. And the thought has been, the seed has been kept in my mind about trying it out, whether it works or not, and then maybe I may come back to my old habit. So, but that's a good. And yes, exercise and using the first hour, I think that definitely is a must have, and especially as we grow older, I think it's very much important for us. I mean, I'll just quickly share my screen to show I'm currently with editing, because I had been impacted by an injury that I incurred a couple of months ago. So, and because of that, doctor said at this age you should be a bit more careful. Don't think you are still 20 years old. You're 40 plus now. So to be careful, and therefore it's important that exercise has to be done, but in moderation. I think it shouldn't go overboard on anything. I think that I agree on that point also. So those are my views, and I think I took up my 2 minutes efficiently.
Okay, thank you, Rumi. Thanks for sharing it. In fact, Rumi, you have some common with Joshua. Rumi is from Accenture, and Joshua is from the IT industry. So both are some common things. Okay, now coming to the next question, which I have.
Yeah, 2 minutes I'll share, Mr. Milan. I lost the time.
Oh, sorry, okay, you can go with your, sorry.
Yeah, I am Jay Kumar, a retired bank officer, and I'm 68 now, 67, coming 68. And most of the things which Mr. Joshua said, certain things I am following actually, because the morning hour is very, very important for everyone actually. Morning, once I get up, I'll have a glass of warm water. Then I'll go for a meditation for 45 minutes. It keeps me totally at peace and calm down. Suppose while getting up or in the night disturb sleep also, the 45 minutes which I do the meditation, it completely brings down my control actually. Then after meditation, I will go for a walk. I'll go for a walk. After come back only, I'll have the ragi genji for a glass. Then I'll have some fruits. So instead of fruit juice, I'll have ragi genji and fruit. Then I'll have my other routine things. By 10, 10:30, 10, 10:15, I'll have my breakfast. And the night also, I complete my dinner by before 7:30. Yeah, before 7:30, I complete my dinner. And evening also, 45 minutes I do, 45 minutes to 1 hour I do the meditation, 6 to 6:45. Today I started a little early, and because of that only 5-10 minutes late to join the meeting.
Okay.
So
good, thank
also,
you, sir. So it's a good point you said.
Yeah.
Now,
so this keeps me very active and busy actually. Okay.
Oh, that's good, absolutely. Now, one point which I never knew, in fact, it was a revelation for me. I knew there was only one brain, and which is over here. But now I got to know after reading this book, in fact, that brain which I have, my wife also has a serious doubt whether I have it or not. So I can't even think of some other brain. But here in this book, he talked about a second brain. So how many of, now we have almost more than 20 people over here, or 21. How many of you are aware of there's a second brain in our body? They can raise their hand or put in chat window. And if they know, they can even put it in the chat window that where it is. Any idea? Anyone has any idea?
Doctors cannot answer.
Doctor cannot answer. Except medical doctors, other doctors, if they are PhDs or someone, I don't mind, they can answer. Oh yeah, Galda sir.
No, unless you're meaning the left brain and the right brain, which
no, nothing in the skull.
No, then it
is below the head. Anyone, Shirish Bakre, any idea? The second brain in our body.
Your whole body, what I believe, is a brain.
Okay. But there's one particular, there is a brain. It's officially now been declared.
That is officially. But otherwise, your every cell has its own brain, which is beyond your control.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll just park your question. Let's see what. Okay. We have Sheetal over there. Sheetal, can you highlight? There are, of course, two Sheetals. So both can unmute one by one and say if they are aware of any brain, or they can make a wild guess.
But the heart beats. How does it beat? Your brain dead. Your heart is beating. You are in a coma.
No, heart is different. So it is not. Again, one more disclaimer. It's not heart. So the two Sheetals, they can unmute themselves, and one by
There
one
is
they can say
another
what.
supposed to be unconscious brain,
Oh, okay,
subconscious mind. There are so many terms for it, but the experience, anybody,
Okay.
whatever word you give it, a
Okay.
name.
So Shivish, I just I noted to you. So, Sachinandada, any idea about this second brain? Anyone else?
Raise her hand to answer.
Yeah, Lumi seems to be answering. Anyone? Okay, Megha is Meghna. Megha, you can go ahead. Yeah, Megha, unmute yourself.
Hi. So I think yeah, I agree that there's a subconscious brain as well as a conscious brain,
Okay.
left and right, of course. Also, exactly what he said, that I think our whole skin, our whole body acts as a brain, because whatever we experience and think is sort of retained in all the cells of our body. So I think that's another question.
Okay.
That's just it.
Okay, good. So you have given your views. Now Sheetal has unmuted. Sheetal, over to you.
Yeah, so my name is Eugene Sheetal.
Okay.
So I feel gut is the second brain. Yeah, our stomach. So there is always my uncle has taught me this. So there is a connection between the gut and the brain. So important connection between the digestive system and the brain. So which actually tells us, sends us the message if we deeply understand, like how much, like even the quantity what we eat, or what is suitable for our body, or everything that we actually take in. I think the brain actually, it actually communicates to the brain. So, and it plays a major role in our body.
Wow.
If
So
we deeply
Sheetal,
watch. Yeah.
Sheetal, you said your uncle taught you. So
Yeah.
is your uncle Joshua is your uncle or what?
Yeah, yes.
Wow, that's why the cat is out of the bag. Okay, so now let's talk to your uncle.
And I have also tried it actually, and it is true.
I
So
see.
to always listen to the gut. Yeah.
Great.
And thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So let's get more clarity from your uncle. Okay, Joshua uncle, go ahead. Over to you.
Okay.
So what are this?
So
Seems gut is your.
my elder sister's daughter.
Okay.
She's joining from. She's connecting from Chennai. They live in Chennai.
Oh, wow, great.
Okay, so I'll just
Second,
give a
yeah.
quick brief about. So our metabolic system, we have to learn to listen to our metabolic system. That's the key. And which is the metabolic system is nothing but your second brain. It's called the enteric nervous system, ENS. Is known as the second brain or the brain in the gut, because it can operate independently of the brain and the spinal cord. That's the central nervous system, CNS. So CNS is being called it has also been called the first brain, based on the evidence suggesting that the ENS evolved before the CNS. We need not get into the details. The second brain consists of sheets of neurons embedded in the walls of the long tube of our gut, which measures about 9 meters end to end. And the second brain contains 100 million neurons, more than in either the spinal cord or the peripheral nervous system. So this multitude of neurons in the enteric nervous system enable us to feel the inner world of our gut and its contents. So it gives us the neural firepower comes to bear in elaborate, daily grind of digestion, breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and all of that. It's mechanical mixing, rhythmic muscle contraction, everything possible. It does on its own. It doesn't wait for the brain in the skull to instruct. So the second brain can control the gut behavior independently of the brain. So we likely evolved this intricate web of nerves to perform digestion on site and rather than remotely from our brain up. The system is two-way complicated to evolve only to make sure things move, right? So what the scientists have shocked to learn about this, about 90% of the fibers in the primary visceral nerve carry information from gut to the brain above and not the other way around. So we must have heard about the term butterflies in the stomach, right? So a big part of our emotions are probably influenced by the nerves in our gut. So you must have seen, you know, you must have also experienced if there's any discomfort, mostly that sends a signal to our brain and that changes our emotional pattern. So the enteric nervous system uses more than 30 neurotransmitters, just like the brain. And in fact, 95% of the body serotonin is found in the bowels. So it's important that we learn to listen to our metabolism, which is the second brain, which is playing a major role in keeping our emotions intact and keeping ourselves very healthy. So I hope
Yeah. So Joshua, right from childhood, we have been told, brain control, control your mind, don't get angry in school also. I used to get quite furious. So control your brain, control your mind. Now, why is that so important that when does the brain in the head controls our emotions, our feelings, or it is the second brain which controls? Can you just highlight that importance of the second brain? Who controls that emotions and everything? We get irritated. We can
assuming you have overeaten. So the next thing, what happens to your body? You become little, you slow down yourself, right? And there is a discomfort. And the discomfort that goes to your brain and your emotions are changing. You're not very active. You're not very sharp. You cannot concentrate better. That is because you are not listening to your metabolism. Right? That is one simple example. Right? And we remember the first question we talked about consciously eat what we eat, right? So after I eat, I'm listening to my metabolism that am I in discomfort? Is my body in commotion or at rest? If you're able to identify that, then that's the best thing to have happened, right? So if I identify immediately or few hours after eating, my body is at rest and it gives me the necessary energy to fuel me, or it is pushing me to a discomfort level. So it's important that we learn to listen to that metabolism and accordingly readjust what we eat or what we should not eat.
And nowadays, like even this COVID situation, what they're saying, enhance your immune system. So enhancement of immunity. So even if that has any control to the second brain or the first brain, how do we overcome that? I was just reading your
question. That's a very good question. So if you're able to, listen to your metabolism, you can get a lot of cues from that metabolic system that you are 100% fit or not. Right? So whether your immune system is working properly or not. So it is every individual, it may vary. It's all about experiencing life as and when it happens. It's not about listening to a talk and saying it's good, okay, or it's fine, and move on in life. It's our own life, right? We have to experience our own life, and this experience is, every individual has to go through this experience so that they can refine and fine tune what is good and what is not good. And it's important that I should not talk about certain things or advocate certain things which are good for immunity, because a lot of doctors here, they are the best people to talk about that.
Yeah, I was just going through your book, so there are a few points which are right over there, which was on the first, which was caught my attention. The brain in the head does not need to get its hand dirty with the messy business of digestion, which is delegated to the brain in the guts, called a second brain. And as you rightly said, the scientists were shocked to learn that 90% of fiber in the primary visceral nerve, the vagus, carry information from the guts to the brain and not other way around. And what is the importance of second brain? The second brain informs us our state of mind in other obscure ways as well. The big part of our emotion probably influences by the nerves in our gut, like what you said, butterfly in the stomach. In fact, that was what it was happening to me before the session started, how to conduct this session. Then one other point which you said, cutting edge research is currently investigating how the second brain mediates the body's immune response. After all, at least 70% of our immune system is aimed at the gut to expel and kill foreign invaders. So how profound these talks are. And one more point is saying, in coming days, psychiatry will need to expand to treat the second brain in addition to the one on the top of our shoulder. So that is really great. So I'm now opening the session for question and answer session. So I see a lot of people who are already on video. So Pawan sir, any input from your side, or what? Maybe you joined late, say anyway, whatever you heard, we'd like to have your input.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much.
Just
Mr.
introduce
Garda.
yourself. From where are you?
Yeah. I'm Pawan Sharma, and I'm a realtor living in Bangalore, and I'm associated with Mr. Garda in terms of we're in the same industry. So I'm very thankful to Mr. Garda for extending this invite for today's session, but unfortunately I could join pretty late. I was in some other session, and that's what probably you can do to keep yourself busy during this time. And definitely the topic that I could see is very much relevant to keep yourself up to date and busy, not only busy, but yes, in running condition, I should say, if we talk something about in a mechanical form. So once the things open up so that you are up and running, once things normalize. So it will keep you definitely very hopeful and positive. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. And we have the youngest person in the audience today is Joseph sir. So Joseph sir, of course, I noticed that you had joined a bit late. Joshua had given few commandments to us. He said early in the morning, first hour, you should take care of your body, lubricate your body, do some physical exercise. Number 2, he said not to have tea, coffee in the morning. Instead of, if you want, you can have fresh fruit juice, beetroot juice or vegetable juice. So that is what he talked about. Then he talked about the third commandment was listen to your metabolism. And that's what the entire chapter, and that's what we stretched beyond that. We said the second brain is there. So what is your experience? Do you follow the first commandment which he said? Because he has not even given 10. He has enough commandments than what Moses has given. So his first commandment, which he talks about, is getting up early in the morning and using it for. Do you do that? And you are, I think, 84. So what is your, can share, and we are only 2 minutes for you, okay? You can unmute yourself, sir. You are muted.
Good
Yeah, I
evening
can.
to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk. Usually, right from my childhood, I am an early riser. When I
Okay.
was 5 years old, I used to get up at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
So that is till today. Only after this lockdown, I am little bit relaxed. But however, I get up 6 o'clock and do the yoga almost for up to 7:45.
wow.
So after that, I take my hot water and drink the tablets which I regularly take. I do that one, and then I take a bath and have breakfast. The only thing
Okay.
that in order to give my immunization little bit power, I take ginger tea.
Oh,
So that is recommended. I have been taking it and nothing happens to me.
okay.
So I am a very moderate eater, and mostly, even though I am not a vegetarian, but I stick to vegetarian for the last 10 years.
Wow.
So that is how. And because doctors recommended for calcium requirement, then they told me at least take some fish or something like that because your bone needs more calcium.
Okay.
So that is also I'm not taking much because of my age. We have to take care of a creatinine. Creatinine, if increases, is more dangerous than anything else because protein at that age is limited. Cannot take more protein. Vegetable has got more or less some protein, but
Okay.
fish and other things are to be limited.
Ah,
Even meat, if you are taking, it should be limited. So 4 times in a year only I take meat.
okay.
That is on my birthday, my wedding anniversary, my beloved passed away, whose birthday, and Christmas. I take
Okay.
that's all. In between, I don't take any meat or anything. I
Wow.
stick to
Let's give a round of applause to him. Absolutely great initiative because Joseph and I met for the first time in yoga class. We are Art of Living members. So that's how I came to know. And he has been very meticulous. For him, discipline is a epitome of discipline and everything. Any time management, whatever assignment you give, he will take that responsibility. Beautiful, and keeps on writing in blogs, in Devi mirrors and other things. So he's very active. Thank you, Joseph sir, for your
welcome,
kind
sir.
inputs. Thank you. And I see a couple of
I
more
have
people.
one question, sir. Sir, I
Okay,
ask
just
one question.
we'll have question answer at 7:15
Okay.
or something. We'll open it. Okay, just
Okay.
a couple of guys. I want to cover others. So Ajay and Nandini is there. I haven't heard anything from them. Or even Kirtana. Oh yeah, sorry. Ashish has raised his hand. Ashish, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Ashish, you want to?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
So I had a question for Joshua.
Okay, then let's fine. Then let's open the question. Okay, let's start with Ashish.
Yeah.
Okay, A for Ashish.
Okay, so he's been mentioning in our personal conversations as well as also.
Ashish, can you just repeat once more? I could not hear.
Joshua has been mentioning my personal interaction with him also.
We are losing
that,
you.
Ashish, your voice is not clear.
I'm in a bad network, I guess.
So would you mind putting it in chat window or something, if possible?
Yeah, I'm in a bad network, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just go ahead.
So Joshua had mentioned that he's been practicing this for a while. So the youngest member of this discussion also mentioned that he gets up quite early at 5 from ages. But how all this comes through, I think only when you sincerely follow it without any diversions. I'm sure that as a person you tend to have some cheat meals and all. But the problem is the cheat meals become too often because of business purposes. How do you get back to your normalcy? That's a question that I wanted to ask Joshua about. How do you? I'm sure even he's having some cheat meals in his life due to work. How does he get back to what he's doing for ages? How does he go back to that normalcy?
Okay, Ashish, I'll just give an example. Before the lockdown, for about almost 10 years, every year I travel to US, UK, and within India. in a year, about 60 to 70 days, I live in a hotel, either in India or abroad, right? So you know what kind of food we get in US, UK, in Western countries? It's almost 100% junk, right? So
Yeah.
I completely avoid and I stay on fruits and egg. And any hotel, I think I choose the hotel which has a gym. So that preference is given. So early morning I hit the gym and live on fruits and eggs. And if I have to catch a flight, which is on a not on a regular time, you know our flights, right? 3 a.m. sometimes. Late at night. So I do work out on in the waiting area. I'll share some videos of that actually.
I think I've seen a few.
So I think one reason I am that rhythm is kept on going. So the moment I give a excuse that no, I'm traveling and I'm not getting home food, or I start giving excuses, the excuses will become many more, and it's impossible to come out of that, loophole. But try and innovate, experiment, and keep up the rhythm.
Sure, thank you.
So next question, I'm offering it to our ladies over here. Teresa Mahajan is there. Madam, if you'd like to unmute yourself and share your views or ask a question in case you have, or just your experience. Yeah,
Sure.
over to you. Yeah.
I'm very grateful to Joshua because he's influenced my teenage sons to have a healthy lifestyle, to eat, to think and be conscious about their food, and to work out. So they are practicing religiously. They're doing this. So I'm grateful to Joshua for influencing them.
So is your son next to you?
No, they're not. They're not with me.
Okay, otherwise I would have requested you to unmute your video and introduce your son.
They're at my place.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
Workout.
Okay, that's good. So there's a chat in chat window. There's a one Nandini madam has asked question. I had a question. One question: why drinking tea when you get up is bad for immunity? Just so if you can.
Okay, I didn't say it's bad for immunity. I was talking about tea, coffee generally is a stimulant. When we take the stimulants on a regular basis, it will dull your nervous system. So I was talking about it gives you a spike of energy and then it brings you back down, right? So when it brings you down, then again you are looking for some other stimulant, probably again a cup of coffee or tea or some snacks. So if you get onto this cycle, it's impossible to come. So if you're getting to the habit of missing your tea, coffee early in the morning, the first time what you have, and adopt other alternatives like juice or so it's easy for you to come out of that habit. But like our 84-year-old Joseph, young man, talked about he'll have a ginger tea. Yeah, that is also a good option.
So you have to unmute yourself, Mr. Milind, sir. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think Milind is talking.
Okay, sorry. So I just Kirtana ma'am, Kirtana Vijay Kumar, would you like to share your thought process or questions or something which you have? Or just and Ajay. My intention is to at least to interact with each other. It becomes easy one by one. Or Sheetal Rao too. Sheetal Rao seems to be quite quiet today. So any one of Ajay, Sheetal Rao, Kirtana, 3, 2, 1. Otherwise, Joseph, so you had some question. You can go ahead. And then I'll ask Shirish Bakre.
My question is, since we are doing our best to keep our immunization strong, the virus also does the same thing. The vaccine also does the same thing to control the virus. Is it necessary that we should take the vaccine in that case? Or
I think,
based
Joseph,
on
sir,
our...
this better we ask the doctors, because Joshua is not a doctor. So this is something, okay, so that's something that, because let's go with doctor's advice. So he's like a individual IT professional. Out of his passion, he has followed like what you have been doing, what I have been doing. Okay, so that's better, because that's medical things with medical experts. And again, there are divergent views, but so we of course had Dr. Sunil Gowda who is there. If we can respond to that, that will be great. Okay, Shirish Bakre wanted to talk, ask. Galda Sahab also you can hear. Yeah. Shirish, okay.
Okay, there are two things. One is most important, which I feel we have very little time on hand, and I'm curious to know further commandments which Mr. Joshua has forwarded in his book. And the second question is, since he is in IT industry, what are his views on drinking beer or vodka or gin? Because in IT industry, beer is a very common factor. And how does he deal with it?
So it is again a misconception. So there are many teetotalers in IT industry. It's again how you moderate yourself. In moderation, if you're able to manage, it's good. That's like, again, that's one point I touched upon initially itself is I should have added in my book, eat consciously and drink consciously. I didn't add it because people will take it for granted you start drinking. So anything if you do it consciously.
That's a good one. And what are other commandments
Shirish,
that you have
we'll have
mentioned
these
in your
commandments
book?
are there. We'll start. Well, this is just a trailer. We'll have multiple series just to for audience. This is not the beginning and the end. Okay, today was just opening. Okay, so we'll have, because these are so profound, no? So I just want to discuss with Joshua. Let's not rush and just complete the book, because that will not add, because our body, like the first commandment itself, is a challenge for many of us. Second commandment, not having tea, the more biggest challenge. So that's why let us go one by one. So maybe next week when we again join on next Saturday, we can even think how many of us has practiced that way. So that's a point over there. But thank you for raising this point. So so it's not an end; it's just a beginning. And yeah, Krishnamurti, you have joined. Any inputs from your end? Welcome. I missed you. Anything from your end?
And she is an OAL sister. She comes here every Saturday.
No, anyone, fine, okay. So just a couple of things I liked what we were saying. Yeah, one more point because that regarding commandments, some parting comments or tips which he had given. One was of course try beetroot and carrot juice early in the morning, empty stomach, which can energize you the whole day and keep you agile. This will ensure your guts are cleansed of all toxic and removed on ongoing basis. So that was one tips which he has given. Next commandment was something I find it very difficult for me is fasting. So he also talked about that. And why? So Joshua, can you highlight why fasting is important? Okay, because anyway, in the beginning you said eat only when you're hungry. So I normally try to practice that unless there's some favorite food or something comes in between. But fasting is something not my cup of tea, and maybe many of us. So why is the importance of fasting? I know many spiritual gurus also highlight on that. Our yoga also says that fasting is required. Our mothers normally do fasting for various reasons, for getting some blessings. So why this? Why are you from IT industries trying to propagate fasting?
It's not from particular industry. It's like You take a car and start driving, right? You start driving non-stop for 1 week. Will it withstand? So it's important that you give some rest so that all the toxins are getting cleared out of the system. It's like, again, it's important that I've talked about intermittent fasting. That's what it's important, right? Between your breakfast and lunch, actually you're doing an intermittent fasting if you're disciplined, because you will have about 4 to 5 hours or max 6 hours of gap, right? Right, in the third or fourth hour, you start a little bit hungry. You are looking for some snacks, right? And you're trying to fill it in. Instead, if you're disciplined and wait till the lunchtime, you're doing an intermittent fast. That means you're completely digested before your next meal. So you extend that and miss a meal, that becomes little more better. Okay? But I do not recommend people doing a crash dieting, and because the doctors here can recommend that, I mean, they can vouch that if you go on doing all of that, very, I think Joseph wants to ask.
Okay, Joseph sir, you want to go ahead with your query.
Yeah. Regarding fasting, I do fasting every Friday for the last around 20 years or something like that. When I was eating meat, I used to fast Thursday night, last meal, and Friday night only the first meal of the Friday. Because I left the meat eating, now, and also the tablet I have to take, therefore I take only one meal on Friday around 4 o'clock. That's all, and it is a dry fasting. But somebody said that fasting is also helpful in digestion. So what is your opinion of my fasting?
I think it's a good practice, and you are able to listen to your metabolism. That is the reason you have taken that decision, and it is you're feeling comfortable and healthy. That is one reason you are able to successfully follow for so many years. It's again individual to individual. It depends. Milind cannot follow your routine, or you will not be able to come to Milind's routine. So it's every individual, to their consciously take some decisions and follow and improvise. Experimenting
Water
is
also.
key. Yes.
I don't drink water also. Is it okay?
I didn't get that point.
No, what he's saying, he did dry fasting, no water. So he
No
doesn't
water.
have. Oh.
I'm not sure because I have not tried that, because I keep drinking water through the day.
But I can't live without my water. Every time water is there with me.
Yeah.
And I take continuously warm water, not hot, but warm water.
Warm.
Like, my water, it is there. I think we are coming nearer to the time. It's almost 7:30. So what we can do, this was most important point, which is talk about hate. But I want to park that for the next session. Why that topic? That's a very profound thing. So we can start with that, because that's very important. So I think today we had given a few idea of what the things are. As long as we start having a belief in what these commandments has told us, doing some exercise in the morning, avoiding those addictions which energizes us, tea, coffee, be conscious of the food, be conscious of the second brain. And we also know that there's something, immunity can be built up to our body itself. That was a very important point without going into, so that is very critical. So that belief concept is very important. Like when Mahatma Gandhi said, the importance of belief. He said, your belief becomes your thought. That's what he said. No, if your brain, it's your stomach who gives you emotion. So in case you have a belief in what Joshua says or follow these practices, your belief becomes your thought. Your thought becomes your words. Your word becomes your actions. Your action becomes your habits. Your habits becomes your values. And your values becomes your destiny. So that is the importance of belief. So we may be having some different belief, but that also can be changed. And once we inculcate a new belief and practice with that comes in our thought, then we put it into words, then into our action, then put it as a make it a habit, then it becomes into our habit becomes our values, and then values becomes our destiny. So we can change our future at whatever age we have. So that's a very profound thought which Mahatma Gandhi had talked in a different context, but very relevant to what we have said today. So thank you, Joshua, and all of you for joining. So what we will do, we'll go maybe same time next week. We'll plan it. I'll share the Zoom link. You can most probably the same link will be there. You can spread the message to more and more people from your apartments, from your friends in the circle, because these are very common things many people know, but somehow certain things which are very simple appears to be common, we don't practice. So we need to now inculcate that habit of practicing, like Teresa Mahajan said, no, her youngster, my teenager daughter, she's into all the junk food. So how to transform them? If the young generation, and even of course, not so young generation like us, if we can transform ourselves, we can change our destiny and destiny of the, if we change our own destiny, our family, our society, that will be a great thing. So thank you all of you. Thank you, Joshua in particular, and each one of you, Galdar Saab, Joseph sir, Pawan sir, Rumi Daruwala, Ashish, Kirtana, Teresa Mahajan, Megha, Jay Kumar sir, Bhanumati ma'am. We missed you, Bhanumati. To next week, we'll make you talk. Sheetal Rao, somehow she's quiet today. Maybe she's, I don't know whether Joshua has some technique for, in addition to fasting, keeping a Maun Vrat. Seems to be Sheetal is today. Otherwise, she's very energetic in talking. Sheetal, then Krishnamurti sir and Shirish Bakre. Bye-bye then.
Sorry, Milan. Sorry, I'm back. Actually, I got entangled with something else.
So,
I had a small kitten which got caught in the bike, so I just rushed out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know because she's a COVID warrior and everything.
Hi to all. I'm so sorry.
No problem. So we'll catch up.
I hope the kitten's all right.
No, kitten is all right. The mother cat died 3 days back, so the kitten went and sat again into the bike. So just to check on that, I rushed out.
Right.
So sorry.
Okay. So we'll catch up next
Thank you.
Saturday. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.